those out there. My name is Heinrich Neetling. Welcome to Mathematical Literacy. In today's lesson, we will focus on the topic of time. Now, before I get going, let me quickly just check with you. Did you know that everything that we see is actually in the past? Yes, because it takes time for light to reach us. The sun that you see out through your window, that sun is actually 8 minutes and 20 seconds old. Now, that is really something interesting to think about. Now, learners, what will I expect of you in today's lesson? All right, so by the end of this lesson, you should be able to, first of all, know all relevant terminology relating to time, do conversions involving time, do calculations involving time, and then also interpret and work successfully with timetables and calendars. So those are the things that we're going to look at. Right, so you need to know certain things at this moment in time as well. So what are those pre-knowledge that I'm referring to? So that will be the skills and concepts you should know, and it includes the definition of time. That is an ongoing sequence of events that is taking place. The basic unit of time is seconds, and then also we have minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, and of course our years. Then also what is important, the instrument used to measure time, it can be a watch, a clock, computer, a stopwatch, or a cell phone, for example. Then ways to display time, that will be analog, and then it can also be digital. And we'll have a look at all of what I'm mentioning now. Then formats in which we can express time. It can be your 12-hour time format or your 24-hour format. So let's quickly do a little practice, all right? Don't worry, I hope you have your calculator, your book, pen ready so that we can work through this together. Remember, the aim is for you to grow, so please, whatever we project to you, make sure that you work with me through it. All right, so let's look at the first question. It says here, study the clock alongside, you can see in the right-hand corner there, and answer the questions that follow. So question 1.1, is this an analog or digital time display? Now, when I look at that, that will definitely be an analog time display. All right, and then the second question, write down the time using the 24-hour format. Now, right, so if I look at this, on the clock I see it is 5 o'clock, right? So 24-hour format, I will say that will be 1700, or I can also indicate that as 5 o'clock like that as well. So I hope that is clear. So there's our first sum. Second one, given the time below, answer the following questions. Now let's see what is the time that's given to us. That's 14:30. So the 2.1 is asking, is this time before or afternoon? If I look 14:13, that is definitely in the afternoon. All right, and then I look at the second question. It says write down the time in 12-hour format. So that will give us then 2:30 p.m. All right, so I hope that is clear. And then last, let's see if there's another one. So we are saying here, give an example of a digital time display. All right, so digital time is time in numbers only. So please keep that in mind. So for example, I can write here, that will be 8 o'clock in the evening. So there's an example of digital time. So let's quickly move on. So what we're going to look at in this lesson is conversions and calculations involving time and time elapsed, as well as conversions between units and time with leftovers. Thereafter, we'll move on to distance, speed, and time, and then calendars, and we'll also have a look at timetables. Now, in order for us to do all of this, you need to know certain terminology, meaning certain words and language. Now, what are those language? So first of all, digital time, that is time displayed by numbers only. All right, so remember, digital time, time in numbers only. Then analog time is where we have a clock divided into 12 equal parts, in which the hours, minutes, and sometimes also the seconds are indicated by hands on a dial. Then we have our 12-hour format. The 24-hour day is divided into 12 hours before noon, that's AM, and thereafter 12 hours afternoon, using the 12-hour pattern of time. That's your PM afterwards, right? So for example, 9 AM, that will be in the morning, and then we have 9 PM in the afternoon. Then we also have the 24-hour format. That's the time system where in a 24 hours day is divided in 12 hours before noon and 12 hours after noon. 1200 to 2400, right? So again, we have 9 in the morning, and then we have also 9 in the evening, this time without the AM and the PM. All right, so let's quickly look at a few other words. Elapsed time, that will be the difference between the first and the second time recording. Then also time recording formats. Remember, we write from the biggest down to the smallest unit. For example, 9 hours, 4 minutes and 38 seconds. And then also, when we calculate formula in context, what we're going to do later on, we use the formula time equals distance divided by speed. All right, so let us quickly take a comfort break. After the break, we'll do some more examples. See you now.